I ended up buying myself this 2018 Subaru Forester recently. Haven't really been posting anything much, so hello again, guys. I'm going to be showing you the new vehicle I got, and what we're at least going to be trying to do in today's video with some parts I have sitting around. So let's get started, shall we? So this right here is the car. This I got maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. Short words, still is the temp tag. This is the Legacy here. But point that I'm trying to get at here is that this car needs a little bit of love and care and some work. So we'll take a look under the hood real quick and see how it's looking under there. It's not really going to be a detailing video today, just taking a look at how it's chilling right now under the hood. So if we pop our hood right there, nice gas strut loaded hood, just like this. So I'm actually pretty happy with that already. No, not really a feature a lot of people like. Just makes things easier though. So that's why I like it. Anyways, this car is powered by a 2.5 liter FB 2.5 boxer engine. Almost said EJ because I'm used to working on these. This one here has the EJ 253 in it with the TR690 CVT, the higher torque, higher power capable brother to what this one has, the TR580 CVT. Either way, both of them are really solid transmissions, especially in the newer years. Those early ones did have valve body issues, mainly with the solenoids, which I have run into with this one, but I did end up fixing it. It wasn't too big of a job, so not too mad with what I've gotten with this so far. It isn't a bad vehicle, just needs a little extra love and care, just especially considering this is a 2011. It's sitting about 14, coming up on 15 years old, since we were about to round over to 2026, but this video isn't really about this car. We'll go over this one later. I've had this one for just about a year now. So why am I making a video on this thing? As I mentioned, needs a little love and care. I've already done the serpentine belt on it, which is looking pretty decent on there. The oil filter, I may need to actually check that oil. I haven't done that yet since I've gotten it, but I don't really have the money right now to get oil in it, so I'm not going to be doing super long drives with it yet until I get some new oil in it. But I needed something that wasn't burning coolant, didn't have some of the transmission issues that I finally got fixed with this. I'm still dealing with the blown head gaskets and oil leaking on that one. So as you can see, this one definitely has never left the state of Arizona here. You can especially tell by the fact that this is all sorts of dinged up from the rocks hitting it, and it's even got a little crack there. Where the Legacy, you can actually tell, came from northern West Virginia. If you look underneath, it's got rust, but the body itself on the outer, more present spots looks a lot cleaner. And right here, yes, there is some chipping now after moving out to Arizona with it, but still a lot cleaner of an emblem. You can tell this one's not been here in the desert. So this one is covered in sand. Had to replace the air filter already, which I might have actually done an awful job getting that air box back on. I'll have to fix that in a little while. But point being, pretty decent looking. At some point I'll probably need to throw new spark plugs in, which on this one, those do not look very accessible. Right there, and over here in that oddball corner, if I could ever get it to focus. Point being, still pretty decent for what it is, especially considering I've only had it 2 weeks and it's already doing about as decent as it is. So today's video, I'm mainly going to be focusing on the brakes, since those are squealing really bad on this. And it's clear that the one thing the dealer did not do was put new brakes on this. I had to beg them to put a full tank of fuel in this thing upon buying it, because I was not about to spend $40 in gas just to fill this from just above a very, very slight fill. So I guess let's get in, go for a drive. I'm going to get myself my Circle K soda, and you guys can take a quick listen to how my brakes are sounding in this thing. Also gotta give you guys a quick start here, which it doesn't sound too bad for what it is, especially considering that it's not had a ton of amazing maintenance on it. But interior, very base model, doesn't even come with the seat warmers, so that's a little bit of a sad kind of letdown to me. But Still a pretty decent vehicle, so I can't complain. But anyways, let's get started, shall we? Yeah, I know the door is open. Doesn't sound too bad though for what it is. So we have what has only, I think, how many miles is that? 117. This thing is pretty low, so not bad honestly. But anyways, let's get started taking the drive, and I will let you guys hear this once we get some oil going through it there. So we've got some oil going through it now. It's definitely circulated for a second there. Let's go take a quick drive with this. Now we'll let you guys hear the brakes. You'll especially hear them as I'm backing out, probably if the noise canceling doesn't kick over it. So let's see, can that hair stop doing that? Thank you. Watch it, it's not gonna do it now that I'm talking all about it. All right, let's see, we're good there, we're good there, yeah. Now it's just not squealing. We love it. Let's see what happens when I get a little ways down the road here. Not pushing it too hard since it is still a little bit cold. Just want to be gentle on the engine here. Especially considering, to me, this is still new. Much newer vehicle than I'm used to. So, starting to blow that bag around back there. So now it's not doing it. We love it. So that's a fun one. It was squealing a decent bit yesterday when I was getting up for work. Maybe the cold was exacerbating it, but I know it was squealing. I do remember hearing that. And I do want to fix that, especially considering when I do get the oil changed on this, it's next week, hopefully, when I get paid. My friend's going to be taking this down to Phoenix. So and that's about 4-5 hours from us here. So she's going to end up needing good brakes on it. Her son's going to have her Dodge Journey that she drives. Oh, there's the brake squealing. Now they're doing it. We're good. We're good. Cool. It's nice having a working exhaust too, because this thing isn't loud like the Legacy when I'm accelerating. It doesn't scream to death trying to get up to speed. That Legacy has a lot of northern rust on it, which, speaking of the devil, I'm actually passing another one, same year model, and actually same exact model. New Mexico plates. Huh. A little bit of ways away. Here, let's get in the Circle K here and see how this sounds up here. It's just up here on my right. And now it's just not going to squeal. We love it. Oh, no, I'm hearing it. It's actually not releasing the brakes right either. Don't have to buy a new set of calipers for this damn thing. There, let's see. Actually, it's kind of warm out today. Nice balmsy 55 up here in the mountains. Let's see. Okay, so it is squealing a little bit, but it's not very audible anymore as much as it was yesterday. So we're gonna see how that's about to go whenever we pull the brakes off. I'm hoping that the pads are still there and it's just slightly worn rotors or something squealing. We're about to find out though. So let me go get my drink refill here, and we'll be back at the house, I take. All right, so I got my drink here and decided, hey, screwed since I'm out, I'll get myself a biscuit and a bag of Ruffle chips. So let's get on the way back to the house real fast. So back at the house now, and that sounded right and not have that coming down. Thank you. So we're back at the house here. I'm about to lift up the vehicle here and get my tire iron here. I did do the stupid thing of leaving my jack stands out in the snow and stuff, forgetting to pick them up after doing a transmission relearn on the Legacy here. So hopefully the one to the Forester isn't shot. The one to the Legacy is falling apart because it came out of a Honda from like the 90s. So I actually kind of need to get a new jack stand for this car. The threads are all worn out on it and it just does not jack right anymore. So let's hope this jack stand isn't screwed up after that. So, or well, I said jack stand, that's a jack stand, not, that's a screw jack. So gotta get that right. That tire iron, or the tire jack there, that came out of my old Forester. This one came out of my new one here. A lot newer looking, definitely a lot nicer. That one you can tell has had a day or two on it because I've used it on multiple vehicles. Do not be me, guys. Do not leave the stuff out in the rain and stuff and snow and the elements. It will destroy it. I just got to, oh, okay, it's fine. Maybe. Oh God, it's stuck. Hold up. So it was fine. It's just, I didn't realize that I had it like all the way down. So it's working fine. I'm doing this one-handed and it's lifting just fine. So we're gonna get a little bit of lift on that. Get the tire iron here before we get any more lift. We're gonna throw the vehicle chocks, the tire chocks over here under the front opposite tire here of that back wheel, since we'll start back there first. All right, that's on. I just bumped the power button on the phone, so that didn't really work out. And looking at the tires there, I should actually go on the topic of that. These are stock to this car, maybe not the tread here, but these are stock for the wheels to this car. What's cool about the Legacy here, these wheels, as you guys may know, are not off of a 2011. These are for an earlier model. These ones specifically came off of an 01 Legacy. That car ended up having its engine blow up on someone. A cool, really good friend of ours, Mac, where I used to live in North Carolina. He ended up contacting us one day and was like, hey, I finally got some tires for your Forester, if you want to buy them, $200 and you can have the whole set of 4. I ended up having to get new tread for them, since, again, for $400, considering that the tread was still usable for about another like 400 miles, that was not awful. Plus, I got some good wheels out of it. They have now been on my old Forester, my 04 that I had before this Legacy. And as you can tell now, the Legacy, they've had, to my knowledge, only 3 different treads on them so far, which is amazing. These wheels themselves, not including the tread, of course, have, doing the math, have at least like 2.5 million miles on them at this point of travel distance. These things are troopers of tires or wheels. And honestly, as long as I can keep my hands on these, they've survived one car blowing up. They've survived my original Forester getting flipped whenever the alternator died and I couldn't get it to start back up. E-brake didn't do a thing, ended up rolling off a hill. They also survived that Forester blowing up. They've survived this Legacy going cross country. And now they've seen the Legacy have a blown engine and a transmission issue. These tires have seen 6 different critical issues, done a whole cross-country drive, at least 2.5 million miles or so on them across 3 separate vehicles. These things are troopers. Anyways, though, back to this. Let's get this wheel off and start with these brakes, shall we? All right, so here we are. Come on, there we go. Focus. Shut that door. I'm using my MagSafe stand with my 17 here, just so I can do this. So we're gonna get a little bit more lift on this so that it's not gonna have the wheel lock the nuts on us, but also so that it's not turning. So that seems good right there. Let's start with getting this wheel off. That's one lug nut. I'm already scratching these beautiful looking rims or wheels. Okay, there we go. So that was there. Do this one next. Oh, come on. Dang, you got that thing tight. Oh one's loose, and all right, let's get a little bit more lift going on this now. All right, there we go. Look at that. I don't think these have come off in a minute. That was a little tight for my liking. Here, let me get the other tire on it. Let's see. Never mind, it's in the toolkit. So I'm just gonna suffer with the L neck here instead of the plus or T connect or T iron. So I can deal with that. I really wish I ended up saving the other tire iron like this one out of my old Forester for the Legacy here. These things are built to last from Subaru. I love these stock ones. They're amazing. Once you get it loose, those chrome ones are nice when they're the T shapes to just quickly grab there, pop it, and just let it spin free. But these here are good for loosening and tightening the bolts any day. I've always loved these things. All right, let's see. Let's put these over here where they're not gonna go missing. Right there in a little pile. I'll have to clean these out anyways since they're a little bit tight. Well, not tight, but a little bit full of slight corrosion and stuff from being on here for a bit. But for what this is, it's not looking bad. And there went one of the lug nuts. Cool. So looking at it, I might be able to do at least the rear brake pads. That's if these pads aren't new. So let's see how these two pads look. If they're decent looking, I won't worry about touching them. But if they need a little bit of love and care, then I will. Let's see. I did not just do that, did I? All right, let's be gentle with this. So how are these brake pads looking? Let's see. Yeah, that's got a decent bit of braking material. And what about this pad? What about the back one? That has... I actually can't see it. Hold up, let me get a flashlight in here. All right, so whatever brake fluid I'm hearing may just be because these rotors are a little bit smoothed out. As you can tell, they're not great looking, but they're still in pretty decent shape, so I'm not too worried about them. It appears the rear drum brakes inside of this center part of the housing here are in decent shape because this handbrake is holding really well right now. So I'm not too worried about that. If anything, it was holding pretty decent when I was trying to get this tire off. So that's pretty cool. Whenever I'm driving it, of course, I haven't really noticed any issues with the rear differential. So that's seeming fine too. With its, you know, as a differential, at least a semi-open or open diff should do. It lets one wheel spin while another doesn't spin. If something like that happens, or when you're cornering, the inner tire slows down while the outer one's going a little faster because it's traveling a further distance. That seems to be working fine. So at least we know mechanically in the rear this is fine, which what's cool, not that I'll probably need it, if something does happen. The dealership here, they know me pretty well. They love working with me because I know cars so well. I've helped them out there at the dealership with questions they have. They ended up giving me a a drivetrain warranty on this, like a decent one, more than most people would normally get, even on a used vehicle. And they did that because a lot of times on these models here, when they were higher mileage from the north, they had a lot of issues with the drivetrain not really lasting very well, which the Legacy has shown, in this case the transmission. One thing I will probably end up wanting to do on this and eventually the Legacy, I do want to drain and refill the rear diffs. Those have probably never been drained on this one. It may have been. I gotta double check the Carfax report that I got free off their website. but this one may have had it serviced. I'll double check it at some point though. What I can do is pop that fill bolt and let a small amount drip out and just get it just on my finger and really quickly look at the color and the consistency and feeling of it. If this one's good, I'm not going to touch it for a little bit, but I know for a fact the Legacy has never had it serviced because that transmission was never even touched. So I don't wonder how that rear diff fluid looks right now, but it probably needs some help, I'm gonna be honest. This here has a little bit of an odd shake to it when you put it in gear or when it's even at idle in park, but a little bit more noticeable in gear, and you'll notice the lights kind of fade out. Alternator test fine and everything. What I'm realizing, the spark plugs are starting to go out in this car already, so I will have to replace those at some point. That's why I was talking about it in the start of the video. But looking at these rear brakes, these ones look fine. It would be nice if it was like the Legacy here, where it's got the really open wheel where you could just see right there into the brake rotor and stuff and onto your caliper there. And make it a lot easier to do servicing on this thing for looking at the brakes without having to like pull it off. Like I could look at the Legacy right now. Brake pads still look decent. They're new, as I expect. They've got a little bit of wear since I have done some back and forth driving with this thing a few times, but they're still pretty decent looking. So that makes it a little inconvenient with the super small peak holes here for the ventilation. And not to mention, I prefer having the more open stuff because it ventilates my rotors better than this crap. That's one thing I don't really like, even though, ooh, it's flashy. I like the design. Don't get me wrong, amazing looking wheel design, but not my thing when it comes to cooling. I prefer this older design with the smaller spokes, and not to mention, I'm pretty sure these ones here on the Legacy from those 01s were actually Steelies, is what I feel like I remember seeing when I was looking it up. But don't quote me on that if I'm wrong. Just let me know in the comment section. They're really nicely machined Steelies though. This one here, this was after they moved from that weird alloy era of memory serves. They just went to straight aluminum on these, I'm pretty sure. The alloy era, which is actually what the spare is in the Legacy here, which was the original tire to the Forester since it took the same size wheel as the Legacy with the tread on it. That had that weird alloy. They had so many issues sealing and having air stay in the tire. They would constantly go flat, even with new tread on them. So let's put this back on real fast. Set you guys right here so you can watch me drop this back onto the car. All right, so tire's mostly tight. Let's just get a slight bit more tightened down. All right, let's bolt 1. Let's bolt 2. Bolt 3. Bolt 4. And bolt 5. That one's actually pretty tight already. So, cool. Let's get this down. Since I know how the brake pad should look through the little sight window here, the ventilation window, I could take a look at the other side and see if it's about the same matching, since I know what it's supposed to look like on this car. If that looks good, we'll pop into the front, remove that tire, one of those 2 tires, and we'll get going from there. The front brakes, I think, do match the same pads as the Legacy. It's the rear ones that don't. So what's nice about that is these brakes are good. I ain't got to touch these ones, so that makes me happy. So I'm looking at it here, and the rear brake pad set and is looking just as good. So let's move on to the front here. Let's see, since I kind of know what it needs to look like. That pad actually looks new. I can see this one through the sight window. So looking at it, it may just be the rotors being a little bit worn. If that's the case, then cool. That's a lot less work that I got to do on my part. But I don't want to leave this video at a standstill. Just, oh, well, thing I was going for is already fine. Just a little bit of work that I need to do when I get the money for it. Let me put this back in here. Get my little wireless charging dock for my phone back in the car here. I'm going to end up doing a little bit of detailing in the engine bay here. So let's go pop the hood here and clean this one up. And since we're at it, we'll do the Forester, or the Legacy. So pop that and realize that this cover is busted and loose again. There we go. It'll stay that way for like 5 minutes and then end up popping loose again because I need a new panel clip for that one. We're gonna pull this here, pop that like that, and like I said, it doesn't look awful in here, just needs a little bit of work. Let's start working on this then. So here's a before shot. Let me take a picture of it here. I'm gonna set you guys here so you can kind of generally watch me clean. There ain't much you're gonna be able to see since this is the best angle I can get it at. It's actually starting to get a little bit hot out here, so I'm gonna take my jacket off. But this is the best angle you guys are sadly gonna be able to see of me doing this, but I think you'll still get the gist watching me clean it. I'm gonna do it as a time lapse, and I'm gonna try to angle the phone as best as I can. I may be able to use that car or the MagSafe clip and maybe mount it up on the hood or something. We'll see in a second. So let me first get some wipes. I've got some really decent automotive wet wipes that I use. Those will help us get this nice and clean down, get it really good looking. So let's go get those real fast. I found a clip on the hood that works perfect that you guys can see majority of the engine bay. So you'll be able to watch me do this, and I actually couldn't find those wipes, but these are just as good for this type of stuff. So we're gonna use these instead. And I guess let's get started on it, shall we? So we've run into an issue here. The wipes have been in the cold for just long enough in the back of the Legacy that they are frozen solid into my roll here. Actually, I'll take that back. The outside wipes are actually coming off a little bit. So do those and just work from the outside in. As long as I can get them out, these ones are actually super soaked. Oh my gosh. Pop that there and start cleaning again, shall we? Well, apparently to no surprise, I was being a little bit rough on the alternator cap here. These things are kind of cheaply made anyways, but I'm still gonna get it nice looking here. We ended up having it break a little bit here on me on the hinge side of it. So if we end up wiping that portion down, it should end up coming out solid clean. Let's see though. It's actually coming out pretty good though. Still how I wanted it to look. As long as I can get it clean, which I actually need to come through here with some rubbing alcohol and stuff, I need to clean that. So I'm gonna get my toolkit. I'm gonna do this one off camera. I'm gonna clean that battery and stuff. So I lied, I'm still gonna record. Currently got my hat off and it fell on the ground. Okay, it's covered, cool. That can go over there for now. I am gonna record this. Found my battery cleaner. Thought I left this back at my mom's house there in North Carolina, but I guess not. So we're gonna start cleaning the battery terminals a little bit here. Which are crunchy looking right now. But with a little bit of love and care from this, we're gonna start looking a lot better. Let's hit the base of that because it's looking a little crunchy. Okay, I might need a wipe for that one. Let's see. Still got a bit of moisture to them. Not the greatest idea to do it, but it'll get them cleaner, which is what we want. So we're gonna do that. Nice. Look at that. Looks a lot better already. Battery's looking almost new again. I just want it to look a little nicer. I may end up replacing this battery mount or tie down at some point, but that's a later thought because I haven't even touched it on the Legacy, I'm gonna be honest. I think I did change it out on the Legacy for the new one I had for my old Forester, but that was about it. I didn't actually spend any money on it. Can you shut up? Thank you. Oh, it looks so much better already. It's not perfect, but looks a lot nicer. You can definitely tell this car has never left Arizona, only because this battery is from January, February, March, or January, February, April, March, May, probably May. I think May is the 5th month. But again, I'm horrible with months, I'm gonna be honest. But this battery is only from, I think, May of 2025, whatever 525 is. I am gonna be honest, I am absolutely stubborn when it comes to calendar dates as a number, and trying to get them in order. So, let's see, looks a lot better already. Now, the thing we're gonna have to really solve, the negative terminal here, a little dirty looking, not the worst though, I guess. It's, my main worry is this positive terminal, which is covered in corrosion and rust. So we're gonna quickly clean this out then. That's cool. Apparently my battery terminal cleaner here is so old and worn that it's not twisting anymore like it should. It just top piece spins when it shouldn't. That's amazing. Okay, cool. Try and do, there we go. Just gotta hold it like that. A lot of copper in there that's probably not been uncovered for many years, I'm gonna be honest. That looks a lot better already. The car's probably gonna be starting a lot better now, at least in one way. I may end up having to replace this fused terminal though, which, oh, that's cool. This thing isn't even wide enough to get fully in that terminal. All right, we love this. I'm gonna be honest, I don't need this battery tie down, like clip on here. So I might actually end up pulling this off here. Okay, I can't get to the clips because of this, and I don't have a wrench that can get in there. So that's gonna be a hard feat then. We're gonna be going up and down on the terminal end, which isn't gonna clean it as good, but it'll still give us some bare copper to work with here. Oh, hello, police sirens. And there goes the dogs. It's looking a lot better, honestly. That corrosion's probably gonna end up killing me, but Jesus, it needs it. Let's clean up. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better looking. And the battery off. And, oh, that bolt's turning a lot more freely now. Okay, that's what it really needed. Cool. Probably putting these on wrong. I don't even remember how to put, which direction to put battery terminals on. So, please, full send in the comments, joking or not, go at me for putting them on wrong if I am. Forget which direction or which ones you put on first. I usually don't work with batteries, even though I do a lot of electrical stuff, funny enough. So, stepping into sort of uncharted territory here, I guess would be the word for it. God, that really needs a new bolt. Okay, that's really not cool looking. I may end up picking off one of these battery terminal things at O'Reilly's. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's all shot. Maybe that's why it was struggling to start. Let's see. let's take a quick trip over to O'Reilly's and get a new one. All right, so we're in the Legacy here, as you can tell. I need to get my drink off the hood. Oh, that door. All right, so we're here in the Legacy. We're about to run over to the O'Reilly's over here, and we're gonna start replacing that battery terminal. Kind of glad I was in there, because while stopping the video and working on trying to get it off, it just crumbled. So I guess let's get going. That is the wrong key. That goes to the Forester. This is the one we need. It's this weird laser cut thing. They look the same until you look at the fact that the Legacy takes a laser cut. So grinding sounds. That didn't sound normal. I'm just gonna ignore it. Wait, it's the starter that I was hearing. This thing is a shot starter, so that's fun. All right, so you guys could probably tell from that video, the Legacy is a different breed of vehicle. This thing has all of its little quirks and issues, and especially you can notice that shaking was not only the suspension just being shot from the Arizona roads out here, it's also got the original suspension on it, so that didn't really do it a better number either. What's really doing it, this engine runs really rough. I've done everything I can to fix it. It runs like a clock. It just likes to run rough. The engine mounts are just fine. Everything is just fine. I don't know why this car likes to run rough. It is a work vehicle. There's staining everywhere. It's shaky. It's old. It's got a cracked windshield from the rocks. The thing has all the issues it could have, and it still just keeps drooping on. This is a work vehicle, and that's what I love about it. No matter what cars I end up getting in the future, I hate to say it, that Forester, though that'd probably be a better work vehicle, this is my work vehicle. This Legacy is the foundation of all my work right now. And honestly, considering this thing has, what, I think 150,000 miles almost. I got it with 121,000 at the start of the year. It's done a ton of driving for me already. It's done really well for me. This is my vehicle, without question. It is my work vehicle. It is my favorite vehicle, if you can't tell. I love this car, and I am never going to stop using it if I don't have to. I'm going to just keep fixing it and keep it running, but this will be a later project vehicle when I actually get the money to start doing other repairs on it, especially in time, if I can get the tools for it, the engines, head gaskets, but that's a later thought. So let me get in the O'Reilly's here, as you can see over there on the signboard, and I'm going to get that battery terminal. All right, so I have acquired the battery terminals for the Forester. We are gonna go get back to the house here real quick and put these on. Definitely not the same thing, but the fact that they're not corroded and they're new, they'll last me a decent few years. I'll work on getting them some treatment stuff on them a little bit to keep them from corroding as bad and disintegrating immediately. So we'll go back, and what's nice is it's actually two positive terminals. The Legacy has had a slightly struggling terminal, so that works out perfect since I need to put a new positive terminal on it. Anyways, and if we could get out, why are my headlights flickering like that? Cool. This car's having electrical issues on the topic of electrical crap. That's fun. So let's slip out of the parking lot here and make the drive back. That is a bright sun right now. It's coming. Oh, we're good. Okay. God, I'm not used to this car being so low still. No matter how long I've owned it, I like having the vehicle a slight bit higher off the ground. It's part of the thing I do like about the Forester too, is it's definitely much higher off the ground. Oh, there goes the transmission clutch is slipping in this. That is a fun one. see, where can I turn off to get back to the house? Well, I missed that road. Cool. Okay, well, we're taking the slightly longer way around here. Alright. Gosh, this thing is loud. There is no insulation in this car anymore. It is gone. So if we just turn up here, we should be able to get back to the house. And of course, minute I get up to the traffic lights, they decide, yeah, we're turning red, even though you're doing the speed limit. All right, here we go. This is gonna be a long, long wait. Come on, guys. Dang, this car is shaking a ton. And here we go, clutches. There you go. Just gotta engage and we'll start moving. All right, let's see. There we go, there's the street I'm looking for. Pop a left here. And from here, we are straight on our way back to the house. I'm gonna be honest, part of the reason I don't try to make a left turn with this thing is just because of the transmission. I don't want to risk it not accelerating and then being stuck in the middle of traffic if it decides to do its thing. And with these earlier CVTs and the fact that they did have torque converter recalls, they loved, and I mean loved, to stall out every time it came to a stop. This one has done that a ton on me before in the past. I've mostly gotten that issue fixed. Throttle relearns and transmission relearns do help them, but these older designs of the TR690s and 580s, especially the 690s though, had a lot of issues with it. Oh, we are sliding. That road was full of rocks over there. Alright. Jesus. That's one thing that's nice about the Forester. The suspension isn't all shot in it. It doesn't ride so rough and so low to the ground. Anybody coming? Nope. Okay. Alright. God, this transmission is so shot. It sounds like it's got straight cut gears going in it. This thing needs a rebuild or a whole new transmission at this point. It sucks, honestly, since those aren't cheap or affordable, but what can we do about it, right? Also, I just realized, what is my camera doing? It's making me look tired as shit. We're just gonna slip in right here, avoiding the jack stands and everything. All right, good, right there. And we are back. Right there, we got the Forester chilling, doing its own little thing. And we are about to put these new battery terminals on. So let's get doing that. All right, so here we are. And I did clean up my hat a little bit, so I'm gonna be putting that back on since it's getting a little bit chilly out again. And I do like being a little bit warm, not gonna lie. So here's our battery terminals. My wrench is over on the side of the house. Give me a second. All right, so I got the wrench here. Let's pop that 9mm back in there since we don't need that. All right, so that should be a 14, 13. Good enough, it fits. So I'm not worried about it. Oh my gosh, that is stuck on there. Oh my gosh. Let's tighten that down a little bit so it has some resistant play on it. Jesus. I'm like sliding over here, it's so tight. Gosh, that terminal really needs to go. Let's see. Crunchy. Full of corrosion and everything. Ooh, that may not come off. Oh, okay, it did actually come off. Cool. That is gone, like really far gone. So let's get this new one on real fast. These look like they're about the same size, so that's cool. Actually, we'll need that bolt. The bolt's actually in pretty good shape on the threads, which is what we want. Not too worried about that. How do I get this open? Okay, we're just gonna do that. Okay, cool. And this bolt should fit on there. No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, well, whatever. It does have another one over here that's about the same size, so it should work how we need it to. Let's see. No? Oh, okay. That's actually a little inconvenient. Cool. Don't have that bolt. Will this come off of here, or is it too stuck on there? It's probably never coming off. Okay, that makes things a little more inconvenient. Takes a smaller bolt. Let's see if this old probably won't work, but we're gonna see if this fits it. Oh, that actually is the same threading. It's a little bit rusty, but the threads again are good, which is what we want. So we'll use that one. That's actually perfect for the terminal. Cool. This is about to be running primely nice again. That is not a word at all, but I really do not care, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna need a washer for that. Let me go find some. I know I've got some somewhere. Unless, is there any washers I could use off of this? There is one. It's a little bit worn, but that'll work. So let's use that as a washer. That'll give me the contact I'm looking for. God, that Legacy smells like coolant right now. It is burning big time. Whew. Actually, let's see which side has better contact. That would be that side. Alright. That right there. And if we get that tightened down, that should work. Let's keep that away from our terminal there for a minute while I'm doing this. Get our 9mm back on here and get that tightened down real fast. Okay, there we go. If we put that on, it means I think it's either a 10 or a 12. Probably a 10. About to find out. Yes, it is. All right. That should help our little conundrum here of battery issues we've been having with this. Let's manually tighten that first, because that's actually a new bolt. It's going to work with me. Cool. That's actually tightened now. It's working pretty well. So, is this a negative terminal then, or another positive? That's a negative. Let's see if that'll work for this, because if so, I'm just going to replace this bolt too. To which it actually would? Maybe no, because they got some other janky stuff going on here. But again, this terminal's in pretty decent shape, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to drop that one on there. If it didn't get jammed on there, because I realized I put that on wrong. Okay, I see why they had it wrapped around that way. Okay, and that was actually a 10, which is kind of nice. Actually, let's loosen that and get that terminal further down on there to get it some really decent contact. Because Subaru, I'm gonna be honest, and a lot of people who put these new terminals on, or these new batteries in, they don't put the terminals all the way down like they need to be usually. There we go, now it's on there. It's on there pretty decent too. So we're gonna tighten that down. It's about as finger tight as I can get it.
if this didn't have that sense wire connected to this terminal, I would actually end up using a different one, but honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Let's get this other one, this actual bolt here on the positive tightened down a little bit. Okay, we're good there. Let's see if it starts real fast. Should. Let's drop all that there. And let's see if this works. All right, so I got the key here. I'll let you guys get first-hand view of it. Let's actually get all this out of the way. I'll fix that in a little while. I'm not too worried about that factor there. That's all good about where it's at. It won't fall anywhere important. And that can go down here. Okay, that's actually kind of nice. That actually fixed the rough idle a decent bit. What I'm going to do here real fast, if that's the case, I'm going to clean up that alternator terminal real fast, and we'll see if that does something good too. Where did my wrench go? I just realized I lost that. Oh, right there in front of me. That and our 13 should be big enough to get that off. Actually, that's a 12. Oh, shit. You know, I probably need to disconnect the battery before I'm screwing with that. Hold on. That was not smart of me. Yeah. Here, let me do that. That was not smart of me at all. At all. Let's see. The fuck? I am really not in my game right now. Shit. Fucking cook this battery. Okay, there we go. Jesus. I am not playing a smart game right now. That was that 10. There we go. Let's get that off now. Actually is nice because I can get that off like I wanted to anyways. So let's get that all the way off and not be me and do that again ever. It's the first time I've done that, and that's gonna be the last time I've done that. Okay, that's like completely caked in oil. Or is that even oil or is that dirt? That's oil. Don't even know how that got there because the filling stuff's over here. Whatever. Where's that terminal cleaner? Right there in front of me. Let's get some actual wipes going in there. What's nice about these is they don't cause corrosion, which is cool. I like that. And the wipe broke. Cool. Should be enough anyways, though, so I'm not too worried about it. We wipe that off. Ooh, yeah, that's revealing some good stuff in there that we want. That's exactly what we want. We're gonna do this. Okay. And then again, we're gonna hit this again. Cool. That's exactly what we want out of that. And that's looking good there. Let me get an actual wipe so I can detail that a little bit. Something simple most people won't see, but to me it means something. So, get that clean going. I need some really good wiping down there too. Oh yeah, look at that. That's starting to show its colors now. But yeah, please do not be me, guys, and do that with the battery. Always remember to disconnect your battery when you're working with electrical stuff that doesn't need it connected. Oh my gosh, that is really dirty. There's like a layer of silver on top of the dirt somehow. That's fun. It's showing some really true colors, but it's looking a lot better, which is all I'm really worried about. And to detail this a little bit. Let's see, that's looking good. There we go. It's looking really clean, which I like. It's definitely better. I'm not worried about getting every little spot, but as long as it looks cleaner, that's all I'm worried about. All right, so that can go back on there like that in a minute. Let's quickly get this red cap cleaned up a little bit more. Quickly wipe down that. There's a lot of oil and grime on there that just really does not want to come off. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. It's a lot better looking. This is the type of stuff I need to do the Legacy to at least make it look nicer, honestly, but that vehicle I'm not really too worried about, since I'll be honest with the stuff it's got going on with it and with the type of work I do with it, it's just going to get dirty again. It's one of those vehicles that if I clean it, it's going to be nice for like 5 minutes, and then it's just going to be a waste of money and time, since I'll just get it messy again with all the oil and stuff that gets transferred in it, all these like tools and things. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. Okay, look at that. That's actually not bad looking. Cool. Definitely a lot better, but a lot of that's not wanting to come off, so I'm not going to worry immensely about it. Oh, and that cap broke. That's cool. All right, well, we'll do... Well, it actually has a lockdown for this cap, which is cool. So we'll keep it stuck down. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that. This bolt should actually work on here. Okay, it actually will. It's quickly clean the base. Actually, that's actually pretty clean. Still just wipe it down real fast. That's right, that's got a washer like permanently affixed to it. But it's got much cleaner looking threads than the one that was in there, so we're gonna use it. All right. There we go. That's nice and clean on there. When we get this down, it should look a lot better than it did before. Nice. Look at that. Cap is sadly broken a little bit, but I can work with that. I'll probably use some glue or something on the back side of it just to keep it on there. So just give it a quick wipe down again. There we go. Look at that. Looks amazing. Nice. All right, let's try it now that we got that even more cleaned. Should work really nicely when I go to start it. Let's see. And I completely forgot that I'm working on a Subaru, so here, let me put this back on real fast. Let's get that wiped down. Not too worried about the underside looking perfect, just as long as it's clean without all the sand there, and it'll eventually eat it up. Which, admittingly, for being 8 years old, this plastic doesn't look too bad, actually. Yeah, it's not going to come out perfect, but definitely a hell of a lot better than it was. Nice. I'm realizing this here is actually that foam right there. So that pops into place there, bolt goes there. Get some dirt back on that again, but doesn't stop me from cleaning it off. Hitting that edge a little bit and clean that off. There we go. And we need our 10 mil. All right, that one doesn't need to be too tight, so there we go. That's actually pretty good. And again, plastic ain't never gonna look perfect on this, but it looks a lot better in here already, which is really cool. So let's pull this out of the way and give it another quick start and see how it does. Got the keys here. Oh, you know, I probably need to put that back on. Here we go. Completely forgot being a Subaru. I got to give it a second before I actually start it. That brake fluid. Oh, that brake fluid's actually looking a little low. Maybe that's why I was doing weird things. Good thing I got a little bit extra sitting around, I'm pretty sure. So use some other brake fluid and get this going again. But in the meantime, let's get this, give it a second to reset itself and then start it up again. Which, God, that's already a mess. Cool, apparently those wipes didn't do very much in there. Actually, no, they did. All right. Let's get started. That actually doesn't sound half bad. I'm gonna let it idle for a second and do a throttle relearn real fast, and then we're gonna probably take it for a quick spin. So let's see. Okay, so my hands are dirty. Anyways, the idle is a lot better than it was already. That did a huge number there. So, my gosh, I just realized it's like actually pulling itself backwards like it should now. Ooh, that really did a number for it. It is happy. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm liking this. Doing pretty good. Oh, there's the brake squealing. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have as much of a shake as it did before. Power steering is a lot softer already. Don't know what that did, but it really did help. Let's see. I'm definitely thinking I'll put a proper washer on there in a bit for that battery tie down, but right now, currently, I'm not too worried about it. Seems to be running fine. So if I find the washers, I'll definitely throw it on there, but for how it's running, this is what I would call at least very much acceptable out of it. Definitely a lot better than it was. Do not jump out in front of me, dear. Dang, that sun is bright. That's not a normal sound. Ooh, what is that sound? Yeah, let's see when I go down the road here. Ooh, that's new. Okay, cool. I don't like that at all. We're just gonna ignore that one. Come right up on the edge here. See if it does that. That is weird. Anyways, it is running, so. And the window has lost its learn. It's rolled a few times. Ah, that's right. When you do that with the battery, none of the other windows work from the driver's side. Let's see. Back ones are working. Yeah, whatever. Windows are working, I guess, so that's cool. That one does work on its own, but it's something with the auto switch here that it does not like, which is fun. I'll double check my fuses in a minute though, because I may or may not have popped something doing that. So this is the battery terminal from the Legacy. I tried cleaning it up, it's shot. So I'm gonna use the one from the Forester since it does have life in it. And again, we're putting this on a car that's kind of not really looking for anything fancy. This one did have a better piece here. Forester, again, though, is a much newer vehicle and honestly needs the better parts anyways on it. So we're gonna do that. And this negative terminal on here is starting to look a little sad too, which
this is a negative terminal, so we'll work on here actually. So we're gonna put it on this one then. So let's get to doing that. All right, let's see how it does with this terminal. Give it a second to turn and relearn real fast. And oh, I misread that mileage horribly. Okay, so point being though, ooh, that really helped it. That fixed the engine shake. Cool, good to know. Let's see. We got to do this one here, so staying pretty cool. That's staying pretty cool and hot but not burning, so that's cool. Let's get that negative terminal on real fast. So for that one, we're gonna want to shut it back off. There we go. And we're gonna play a fun game of let's shut this first and get that trash out of there. That can all go in my pile there. Where did that plate come from? Well, that's going in the garbage pile too. Cool. Let's see. Yep, that's locked. All right. So, honestly, after the long day of messing around with the cars and originally being a brake job video and then turning into sort of a detailing video and then fixing battery terminals and not really going on cue with what I had planned. Still a pretty good video. Don't be me. Don't arc your positive terminals on your grounded or body parts of the vehicle. Make sure you unplug that stuff. Don't be me and forget to do that. I do it every other time, but the one time I'm filming it, I of course forget. So, other than that, we'll say that is the end of today's video. And if you guys want more content like this, I will continue making it. Just let me know in the comments. Of course, today's video was a complete shambled mess, but I do plan to get better at it as time goes on. Why is my beard doing that? Can we stop doing that? Thank you. Anyways, point being, I do plan to make some definitely better looking videos from what this mess was today. But until that point, this is the point that we're at, I guess, right now. When I get a little bit more money, we'll start doing some work to the Forester and the Legacy. I'm going to leave the Legacy as a secondhand project since the Forester is my main vehicle right now compared to the Legacy, since the Legacy has its issues it's currently having. But if I can at least fix the engine and the coolant issues, then the Legacy will be fine for me to drive. I'm not too worried about the transmission doing its odd things every now and again because it's minimal issues it has. It's mostly just wear and tear issues more than it should have, but it's nothing that's killing it. So I guess once I start making a little more money and get my credit cards and stuff paid down and pay off the Legacy, since I still owe about $4,700 on that car, the videos will start rolling through a little more interesting as I start doing stuff to it. And I'm gonna be honest, that Legacy, eventually in time, I do want to start modding it. I want to make that my kind of go fast track type vehicle, but right now that's not plausible, especially in its current state of not so great stuff or great mechanical runnings. Why is my hair doing it? Come on, there we go. Anyways, with its current state of mechanical issues it's having, it's not for that until I fix those. But I do have a feeling it's going to be a good vehicle to start doing a series on. The Forester, like I said, that one's just more of a daily driver, more of a, okay, we're going to get it working anyways. It's working, we're chilling. But hope you guys did enjoy the video. And again, sorry that things kind of did not go to what I expected at first and just kind of turned into that. Honestly, it's going to be a longer video, but I think it'll still be interesting. So hope you guys had a good, or hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you can, please leave a like, and if you want to, subscribe.
I would really appreciate that. You don't have to though, even just liking the video. It'd be cool if you want to keep this content in your feed, and it grows to other people if you do. So thank you.